Lean on me when you're not strong, and I'll be your friend. I'll help you carry on. Cheers to Bill Withers. Welcome to Mind and Movement, getting smart about how you move. I'm Hazel. Thanks so much for joining me for Coffee and Move 13. Today we're going to be hanging out and talking about our calves, doing some stretching for our calves. But first up is Saturday. What did you do for Friday night? I hope you had a raging good time, whatever you were doing, wherever you are. I have no idea what day of our retreat it is in New Zealand, maybe like 8 or 9. Anyway, we're having a good time. I hope you guys are doing really well. I know there's a lot of suffering out there at the moment, so I hope you are doing really, really well. So let's talk about our calves. They are these muscles, these beautiful muscles on the back of our legs here. There's two of them. One's called the gastrocnemius, and it attaches up above the knee, and the soleus attaches below the knee. So we're going to do a stretch to start for our gastrocnemius. We are going to stand with our foot up on something, and basically that's all we're going to do. We're going to make sure though that our weight is in our heels and that we are not doing this. Yesterday we talked a little bit about pressure problems in the abdominal cavity. Can you see that when I'm doing this, I'm pushing my spine into my abdominal cavity, and that might mean that some of my gut comes out as in a hernia, or I separate my linear elbow. So one of the really cool and key things you can do to reduce the pressure in your abdominal cavity is to have a longer calf muscle, because shorter calves tend to lead to this kind of forward thrust posture, which we don't want. So we're going to stretch our calves. The other reason you want to stretch your calves is because if you can't dorsiflex your ankle, which is the movement where your foot kind of comes closer to your shin, which happens when we take a step. So when you take a step, you need to be able to do that dorsiflexion movement on this foot. And if you can't do that, every time you take a step, you get a micro, tiny whiplash in your neck, which doesn't mean anything once, but when you repeatedly take a lot of steps, and that's a lot of tiny micro whiplashes, you might get a really sore neck. So back up your pelvis and stretch your calf muscles. The other reason you want to stretch your calf muscle is because if you don't have dorsiflexion, it can mean things around your hips. It means you arch your back a lot, so short calf muscles can lead to sore backs. Short calf muscles, they can lead to hernias, diastasis recti, sore necks, sore backs. So let's stretch them. I'm going to show you another stretch now. It's for the soleus, and same thing basically, except for now we're going to bend those knees. So because the soleus doesn't attach to the femur bone, so up past the knee, it attaches lower than that to the tib and fib down here. So we need to stretch by bending the knee. Again, try and keep your weight in your heels and bend at the knee. This is calf stretching 101. I never calf stretch. I just have one, well, I do it all the time actually, but I'm never actually just calf stretching. I have one of these under my standing desk, and when I'm working on something, a document, or planning something for a client or whatever, I just do calf stretches a lot while I'm working, so I never have to just do calf stretches standing around calf stretches. It's fun doing them with you guys, but it's kind of boring doing them by yourself. So can you put one of these or a rolled up towel, under your kitchen bench or something, so every time you're cutting carrots, you can stretch your calves. Every time you're talking on the phone, you can stretch your calves. Anytime you're brushing your teeth, you can stretch your calves. The more movements we can get into our day like that, the less time we have to put aside for movement, which is great because we're just getting more movement in our daily life. So this is stretching the calves. Let's all do it a lot over our retreat. I got a question the other day from the amazing Jenny B, who gave me this beautiful blue cup, which is handcrafted in Japan, very nice, about the ITB. So the ITB is a big wad of connective tissue down here, and she asked for a way to stretch it. So yes, there are many ways to stretch it, and a good lateral line stretch for the whole lateral line. So you might feel this all the way up here as this. Look at my feet. I'm going to drop them off the edge of my half roller. So that is putting all the tissue all down here on stretch. If you don't have one of these groovy half rollers, you can roll up a towel and tape up the ends, or get a rolling pin or something you can work it out. You just need something kind of sturdy to put your feet up on and drop the ankles out. The next thing I'm going to do here is a hip hinge. Now as I come into a hip hinge, I am stretching all of the tissue right down my lateral line. I can feel it from my glutes pretty much, in my ITB and all the way down. So let me show you that from this side. So I'm standing with my weight in my heels. I am then dropping my ankles off the side there to put my lateral line on stretch, and then I am doing a wonderful hip hinge, and you will feel all kinds of goodness if you're tight in your lateral line. If you're not tight in your lateral line, you might not feel much in this stretch, but this is my favourite stretch for getting up into this tissue. There is another stretch that you can do, Jenny B, called the crescent stretch, and we'll do that tomorrow, but it's just lying down and getting yourself into the shape of a crescent, aka a moon, and then crossing your leg over like that. This is it standing, but we'll do it lying tomorrow. The next thing we're going to do right now is the one and only V-sit. Somebody asked me why I do so much V-sitting, and it's because my adductors and groin muscles are very, very tight. And I need to stretch them more. I need to be able to hip hinge more, so I do this one a lot. You may not need to do this one a lot, but if you're a Western human, you probably do. Most of us Western humans have very similar adaptations in our bodies, aka our hip extension's really bad, our ankle dorsiflexion's really bad, the use of the adductor and the adductors in here, and the strength and the mobility of the hips in these lateral movements is not that good. We don't have very good thoracic movement, and so all of the movements that I'm helping you with here over these weeks, and hopefully not months, but these weeks, is to get your hips, your ankles, your thoracic spine moving better. They are key areas of your body that should be involved in mobility. They should have a lot of mobility. And when we lose mobility in the ankle, in the hip, and in the thoracic spine, what tends to happen is we get sore knees, sore lower backs, sore necks, and things like that. So we want to bring back the movement that we've lost to various parts of our body. Why have we lost movement in our feet and ankles? Because of shoes and because of a lack of movement. Why have we lost movement in our hips? Because of chairs and because of a lack of movement. And why have we lost movement in our thoracic spine? Because of driving, because of computering, and because of a lack of movement in our thoracic spine. So to bring movement back, we just need to move, and we need to move progressively and transition wisely into bigger and bigger movements or bigger and bigger loads. And why do we want to move better? Because it's really vital for your biological function. I'm really not interested in making people look buff. I'm interested in helping people return their bodies to their biological function so that their cells can carry out the things that they're supposed to do. And in this light, like if you've got really stuck tissue in around your groin here, I know that you don't have great lymph flow, and lymph flow is really important for the function of your immune system, and so that's why we're doing lots of V-sitting, because I want you to have a healthy immune system in this time. That's what I'm all about, folks. If you've got any questions, please let me know. Enjoy drinking your coffee, enjoy doing these movements, and we're stretching our calves not just for our calf muscles, but for our necks, for our backs, for pressure problems that we might have in our abdominal cavity. All of those wonderful things. Any questions, let me know. Anything you'd like to learn about, let me know. Peace, have a wonderful Saturday, and I'll see you tomorrow.